Hi guys, Bobby here from Evo. So this is what I have here now. This is the C-Class Coupe. It's a beautiful car, isn't it? Look at it. Look at the car. It's superb, right? It's handsome. It's very handsome. Now, it doesn't have the traditional Mercedes coupe proportions, or most coupe proportions. You can see it's a bit back heavy, right? It's almost like a, I don't know, if you squint your eyes, right, it's almost like the profile of a Porsche 911 or a lengthened Audi TT. Do you notice that? There's very little wood, right? There's a front and then it goes up. It's almost, can you see that? I'm not sure if you can see that, but I can clearly see it. So it's a very interesting design. Why? Because by doing that kind of profile, it makes the rear seats very livable. I'm gonna show you later on, but now I'm gonna first go through the details. These are some beautiful rims, right? Not the most beautiful from Mercedes. The one I favor the most is the one on the GLA 45 AMG. Beautiful rims. That rim is beautiful. So this one is AMG, you know, 19-inch wheels, P0, lovely tires. All right. So the AMG front, you know, you get that star grille or whatever, you know, which looks beautiful. And then the new Mercedes lights, they are just brilliant, right? They look damn good. That one light going down there, then two stuff, and then there's a lot of things going on, but it's beautiful, right? So the front splitter has a full chrome effect. Look at that. Very nice. So in terms of the car's design, this looks very, very elegant. Right? It's almost like a mini S-Class coupe, or a, in terms of direction, put aside the brand, in terms of how the car looks and feels, it's like a mini Bentley Continental. Right. Very classy. You know, there's a thick strip here and all that. I'm surprised Mercedes haven't figured out how to weld the roof and the pillars to be seamless, like how all Audis and Volkswagens do. Seamless, and they do not need a strip that runs across. They're still using that. This is the old construction method. Yeah. Here's the rear. I think it's beautiful. I mean, all this Mercedes new design for their rears, right? And their SUVs and their coupes, they look brilliant every time. They just look beautiful. Right? How is seamlessly, you know, conjoined and gelled. So there's a little fake. I think it's fake. This part is fake. Yeah, I don't think it's real, but it looks good nonetheless, right? There's a diffuser back here. This looks really good. I'm gonna go into the back seats, fold it, and then it glides forward. See that? Yep. Lovely. I'm gonna come inside. Bit of a squeeze because of my size. Now I need some acrobatic movement to come inside. Alright, I'm seated in the back seat. I hope you can see. I hope it's not too dark. Let me check. Because, alright, it's good. It's good. Okay. Hope you can see me. That's my driving position. I am 5'11", and this is the rear seats of the C-Class Coupe. I'm surprised. See, I still have a little bit of knee room. I can slot my feet underneath, but that's because I tend to like to sit a little bit higher. And technically speaking, I have virtually no headroom, but this is a coupe. The fact that I'm not doing this is fantastic. I can slouch a bit and sort of, you know, lodge my head, but it has less rear room than the 4 Series, but both of them are doing superbly well. I appreciate that Mercedes put rear aircon vents at the back for me. Alright, let's go to the front. Oh, it's gonna rain soon. I appreciate that it's motorized, but then you need to wait for the seats to go back. And there's one thing I'm a bit disappointed, because this thing doesn't come out when you got up the car like most Mercedes Coupe do, because they invented this shit, right? They invented that seatbelt extending thing, right? But it's in the 4 Series, but it's not in the C-Class Coupe. So this is the interior. I mean, all of you have seen this right now. I mean, Mercedes interiors are beautiful, beautifully made. Not real metal and all that. This is not the Burmeister, but it's the design actually. It's the design, not exactly. You need, you know, super materials to achieve all that, but it's the design that matters. And I kind of find that their designs are superb nowadays, and I really appreciate this. Look at this. Turn to the right. When I come back to the center, there's a click. You hear that? Okay, I'm gonna lower it, because if not you'll be listening to all the... Okay, look at this. See? All of them do. And then when you turn them aside, right, this part is piano black as well, reflective, which looks really good. And this little this nipple, you know, is metal and it's really nice. Sorry for the lack of a better word, but and it's a tiny screen, and nice visuals, but in terms of using it, right, is a bit confusing at first. Now, how this works is whichever screen you're in, say for example media, then you push it upwards, then you will see that. So you'll be on top. So this is the top tier, and then you have to push the dials down one time to come into the center part, where you'll be operating the center part. If you don't move a while, and then the top and bottom will disappear, and then you'll be wondering, where are you now? Then you push down, you'll be on here. So it's a bit confusing at first, but other than that, it's alright. Okay, it's not the most user-friendly system, and I have this thing that completely shocked me. You look at all this, right? This is very Mercedes visual, very, you know, quite good looking and all that. The graphics are a little bit slow, but it's alright. This is the low spec. I think you can spec it to the high spec. It's when you go into navigation that, oh dear, I kid you not, it's I think this is Garmin, and Mercedes could have just tell them to, like, dude, change your graphics. It looks like kindergarten stuff, right? So yeah, they could have a more cohesive graphic. Now it's the steering wheel, so there you go. And it's a very nice steering. It's good to hold, small in size, flat bottom. Yeah, the paddle shifters and all that, everything feels nice, except given that the car is so high quality, you have a lot of all these metallic surface buttons and all that, right? Or these gloss piano black buttons and all that. These guys seem a little bit out of place all of a sudden, you know. They just look not that classy. The Mercedes could have used, you know, the same material to do these buttons, which they've been splurging everywhere in the car, and they feel really good to the touch. They actually feel really good to the touch. Even that button there for the boot, even even this one, even this guy here, right? But I'm not sure why it's not here. These are the ones that we always touch, right? And you look at this is really nice, proper material. See, they could have used this here as well, but I don't know why. For some reason they're not doing that. What else? You get some, let me show you this sunglass holder. Oh, very cheap plastics, but it's alright. It's alright, but yeah, that's the glove box. Nicely sized, very nicely sized. I really hate this gimbal, man. I really hated it. Yep. Door bins. Door bins are not full length, but the opening is fantastic. The opening of the door bin, wait, let me show you. See, the opening of the door bin is fantastic, even though it's not full length. And of course, if it's full length, it'll be better, but they use a very high quality, soft, flexible plastic. So if it is full length, it might, you know, it might be wobbling a bit, but it feels really good. And even though it's padded, yeah, it's a high quality door bin. It's very nice. You can put bottles. Not the biggest bottles I think, but it's alright. It's good. And in terms of compartment, I really like the C-Class. You see, Mercedes, they shift the gear stalk to here, this tiny little unassuming stalk here. That's the gear lever. Alright, you push up to go into reverse. If you can see it, wait. Push down to go into drive. Alright, and then just push P and you go into park. Right? I'm not sure if you felt or hear the movement, but I'm not sure why, but it's making a lot of movement when I go into gear. It's like, you know. And I'm on comfort mode. It's not like, I don't know why. I mean, maybe the gearbox just hates me. Right? So all these controls are here. Very functional, usable, and I love this compartment. I love it. This compartment is fantastic. It has a very deep compartment here for, you know, your wallet or your stuff, and then 2 cup holders. And even if you don't put cup holders, it's roomy enough to put stuff. It's very good. The funny thing is, some cars could have had this over here as well. It's just that Mercedes occupy a big space here in replacing the gear shifter, because the shifter is like a identity of a car, right? So they replace that with this, the command system, which looks really good, you know, very futuristic. And I mean, it makes, you see, BMW, the iDrive, right, is the iDrive, the entire iDrive module is just about this size and is over here, right? Occupies a very small space, but this thing just looks really good. It's like a visual identity of Mercedes now, apart from the steering. So I just felt these buttons should be here, because when you rest your palms like that, when you're operating this, and then you have to go like, it's just a bit weird. This tree could have been here, and then you can just operate like that, and we could have just used this to operate, right? But it's a nice armrest, and it looks beautiful, especially this part. Look at all this. So that's why this car, right, there is a cohesive theme across the entire cabin on, you know, swavy, smooth flowing lines that are just elegant and beautiful. And then this car behaves like a hooligan. That's the weird part about this car, you know. It's supposed to be very elegant, very smooth going, sporty but Grand Tourer-ish, but it's not. You know the part that I mentioned about having keyless entry but not keyless start just now? So the keys are in my pocket, but I can go in, and then I'm presented with this. Actually, this car has keyless start. Alright, how Mercedes does is this. They actually have a metal button, the entire thing, where the back of it looks like this thing, and they can just put that thing here, and then you press, it will start. I'm not joking. Alright, so apparently when they passed me the car, they didn't give me the button. So that one you press and then it will start. Alright, but which this car actually comes with. But now that I don't have that, I gotta use the key. Another thing, so that's one part of it. Alright, there's one thing that I don't really like about Mercedes-Benz is, look at this. I go into reverse now, and then if you can see from the reverse, from the rear view mirror, I'm not sure if you're able to see that, there is a bar on top. Okay, from the rear view mirror, you're supposed, okay, how it's supposed to operate, right? I'm supposed to look at the rear view mirror to look at that thing, which is this little bar here. So there are two yellow color strips there, right? So how that works is this: the two yellow color strips are here, and then when you reverse into something, when you go into reverse, you don't. It's not like normal cars where you go beep 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 beep. No. When there's something approaching, but be it the left side or the right side, right, there will be another light bar that comes close to it. So it's like a proximity indicator, a visual proximity indicator that shows you whether you are near to some objects or not. But the thing is this: when we reverse, we use our visual, right? We look at the rear view mirror, we look at the side mirrors, and all that. And to have that as one form of input, to have the second form of input, which is audio, you know, beep 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 beep, beep, you know, and it aids each other. And now that cars are so advanced, right, the reverse sound, the beep 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 beep, the proximity of that sound comes from whichever angle that object is. So if something is near to my right side, right, the rear right, the sound will come from that speaker. I will hear that part louder than this part, because we have two ears and it's, you know, three-dimensional sensory. But to have that thing there where when I reverse there are no sound at all, and I can only rely on that bar to show my proximity to any objects, is not good. I mean, if Mercedes is so obsessed with not having those beeping sound, which is not very classy, right? Beep, 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 you know, and all that, Mercedes might feel that this is a more elegant solution. Then perhaps, right, if they don't like sound as a form of, you know, audio warning, then they shouldn't have this as well. This is another thing that I really hate about Mercedes-Benzes. So if you came out of your car and then now you want to lock it, right? Listen. That horn. I hate that. I really hate that. Alright, so still it's a good looking car. So I'm going 40 now, and at the 4th gear in comfort mode. So if I shift it into sport mode now, it will be dragging on in 3rd gear. And if I go sport plus, it will drop to D2, 2nd gear, 2500 RPM at 40 kilometers per hour. Aggressive. So sport plus is like 2 gears lower. So how the car drives? It doesn't drive like a... Again, this car is actually not small. It's a C-Class Coupe, right? And it could have easily matched up to a CLK in terms of size, you know, the E, which is the E-Class equivalent back then. But the way the car was tuned, the way the car handles, the way the engine performs, how the gearbox sounds, it behaves like a much smaller car. It behaves aggressive, like a naughty little hot hatch or something. Wind noise is definitely alright, but it's the tire noise. I hear a lot of that, and gearbox. So that's why this car is a bit interesting. If this is marketed as a sporty car, it looks like a sporty car, then you appreciate all of this, you know, you appreciate that little transmission whine, you appreciate all those things. But it doesn't look that way. From outside to inside, it is supremely beautiful. Just take a look at the cabin. I mean, it's beautifully designed. It's so classy. This one is so... If the C-Class Coupe comes with a full AMG Edition 1 body kit, you know, with all the winglets and all that, then it will sort of tell you, aha, this car is sporty. You know, don't expect the kind of gracefulness, in terms of like a grand touring gracefulness of driving a two-door coupe in absolute comfort and composure. No, this car is sporty. That's it. It is sporty. So I never thought that. I never thought of that. Now, in terms of insulation, sound insulation, there is quite a bit of transmission noise, and surprisingly road noise as well from the tires. I don't know what tire yet. I'll have a look at it, but wind noise is definitely alright, but it's the tire noise. I hear a lot of that. It looks very comfortable. It looks like a Grand Tourer. In the Mercedes hierarchy, it is positioned as the two-door equivalent of the C-Class, right? The C-Class is a comfortable four-door executive sedan, family, a small or compact, you know, not compact. In US, it's called compact, right? So it's a premium family car in Malaysia, the C-Class, and this is the two-door derivation of it. But it is in no way. It doesn't behave like a C-Class sedan. It's completely different. Would you be happy if you're paying almost 100,000? No, not exactly 100,000 more than the four-door equivalent, right? A significant amount of money more than the four-door equivalent. But if the car behaves or reacts or just basically feels exactly the same, will you be happy? Or would you be happy that when you're buying the two-door version of the car, it is completely different from the character of the four-door? See, this is what's struggling within me now, because the C-Class is very comfortable, the sedan. This is not. Alright? And in terms of suspension, and in terms of how the car reacts and how the car drives and all that, this car's breadth of talents, engineering, when it comes to balancing between comfort and agility, is nowhere as near as good as the 330e, BMW 330e. However, none of them feels as sporty as this car. This is like, it is very, very sporty. It's harsh, the steering is fast, it's direct. You know, the car reacts to everything. It's point and go, very darty. That gives it a very strong character. So that's what I'm struggling now. I mean, this car has a surprising character. I never thought it would be that way. I never thought it would be such a sporty car, you know, an aggressive car. But it is. And that kind of wowed me, you know. It's like, wow, I never thought it's like that. Because you see, there's a lot of road noise coming out from this car. I'm only traveling at 110. There's not a lot of wind noise, but road noise is plenty of it. This is what surprises me about this car the most. It's not exactly your max highway cruiser. It is a Uluyang warrior. This is a Uluyang warrior. So what car is this? You know, you drive this car to Uluyang, and then you're doing all sorts of, you know, aggressive driving with. See, I have to speak so loud because of the car. It's very loud. You join a bunch of friends, all the Golf GTIs, Sirocco and all that, and then there's a roadblock, and then you all get stopped by police. None of them can run away, but you can. You'll be like, no, I'm not driving fast. I'm just cruising. Because the car looks that way. It looks like a cruiser. Is it a wolf in a sheep's clothing? No. Let me find a better analogy. It's wait. Nah, I couldn't find one. What animal is like that? It's almost like a crazy greyhound. You know, where the ones that they race the dogs and all that. It's almost like a crazy greyhound in a... Whoa! Fuck! Shit! Holy! Look at that! Oh, I gotta take a photo of this. I don't know whether you'll be able to spot it. I'll just point the camera there. Okay, there's a motorcycle coming. Let him pass by first. And it's a E60 wagon, bro. E60 wagon. Damn.